Hello again! Welcome to another episode of Advanced Minecraft on 2B2T, the world's worst server with Doctrzombie. And I figured I'd do something a little different in this episode because I still have to do a lot of mining and a lot of building, a lot of smelting, all the boring shit that nobody really wants to see. Man, I would love to go back to spawn and hang out with people and, maybe kill a few rushers. I don't know if you can call them rushers anymore, because rushers basically left the server at this point, but they're still newbies. They still need to be taught a lesson. A glorious 2B2T welcome. But right now I gotta diggy, and I gotta build and do all the stuff that I guess Minecraft is really about. But I've kind of been avoiding in my effort to explore. And I think once I'm all done with the map, once I go back to spawn and do what I have to do there, what I'm planning on doing to spawn, I'll probably go back to the old format and do some exploring. I've got so many coordinates, and I know how to use the nether system to travel pretty quickly, and it'd be really nice to get out there and show off some cool shit, because I think that's what you guys are really interested in, when you think about it. But so what I was going to do tonight is I was going to pop into Discord and, with some 2B2T regulars and just have them ask me some questions, and I'd respond to them in video, and, it might get a little dirty. No. Or, it'd just be something interesting, because sometimes people have questions for me and they don't ask, or they do and I don't get back to them in time. So I was going to ask people, hey, give me some questions, I'd answer them. Kind of like a stream, but not quite like a live stream. I don't have the time to devote to a live stream tonight. And I could also tell some stories. I do have some old stories about, things that have gone horribly wrong in my life. And I know that my Hurricane Matthew story went over really well. People really enjoyed listening to my trials and so forth. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a story. I'm going to start with a story that I'm not sure I've told. If I have told it, then I'm sorry if you guys have heard this one before. But the reason I suspect I haven't told it is because I got in some legal trouble from when it happened. Nothing too serious, of course, but when I was a young lad, 18 to be exact. I had just turned 18 that year. It was my final year in high school. I was playing Warcraft 3. It had just come out that day. So whatever launch day was for Warcraft 3, at least I believe it was launch day when I got the game, I was playing it on my computer, having a blast. And strangely, friends came over. Now I say that strangely because I don't really get a lot of visitors. When I was young, I was very much an introvert, not very popular, and for people to come over out of the blue, for me at least, was very unusual. But they stopped by, they said, hey Phil, how's it going? We'd like to do something fun, we'd like to film something stupid, do like a jackass thing, because that was really popular back in the day. Heavens to Betsy, I don't know why. And film it on camera and have a good laugh. And I said, okay, that sounds like a great idea. I don't know why. I must have been young and stupid. So they were kicking around some really terrible fucking ideas, like let's put somebody in a trash can and roll them down the big hill near our house, or let's catch a wasp in a cup and freeze it, and then tie a string to it and have a little wasp kite, because that's what you really want, is to be stung repeatedly by an angry, pissed off wasp that you tried to tie a fucking string to. And we eventually settled on possibly the worst option, which was, let's pretend to kidnap one of our friends in front of the local grocery store, Supermart, which was called Lane Co. In Pennsylvania. So we decided that was the smartest and most fun thing to do, was to pretend to kidnap somebody in our group. And we went over how we were going to do this, and of course we did not tell our parents because they would have been smart enough to say, no, that's a bad fucking idea. Although my dad, really, I think we got this idea because my dad used to tell me stories about when he was in college, and he would, kidnap some of his fraternity brothers and leave them alone in a field miles away from the college campus. But we thought it was a good idea, and so we went about implementing this idea. And we got my parents' minivan. We picked the smallest one of us to act as the kidnappee. We put them, planted them in front of the store, had them stand there, drove up with my mom's minivan, tires squealing, jumped out of the van, laughing hysterically the entire time. Oh, we're so funny. Grabbed him, threw him in the van, and drove off. Now, here's where things went bad. There were two, not one, but two off-duty police officers in that parking lot when we attempted to grab our friend. So we grabbed him, threw him in the back of the van, laughing and laughing, and tried to drive out the one exit to the supercenter. Well, one of the off-duty police officers hopped in his car and blocked the exit with his car. So now I'm in my mother's car, trying desperately not to get into an accident, and trying to explain via nonverbal hand motions at this guy who's staring down at me thinking I may be a nasty kidnapper, that I really just want to leave. The guy I'm with is fine. I tell him to sit up and smile. He waves at the cop, but the cop's not having it. He gets out of his car, approaches my vehicle, and tells me to roll down my window so he can talk to me. Well, I do that, and he reaches in and grabs my keys. So now I'm no longer able to turn the car back on and get out. Long story short, the on-duty police soon arrive, and we are now being questioned by the police as to what exactly the fuck we thought we were doing. So they split us up and they take everybody's statement, and of course we all tell the truth because we're 18, we're good kids, we're not bad students, we're not, juvenile delinquents yet, and they determine that we're just fucking stupid. And so they say, look, didn't you hear that like a week ago a bunch of kids got into a massive amount of trouble for filming a alien attack video in a similar shopping center? And we're like, no, we haven't heard of that. We don't watch the news. So like, what you did was really dumb. We can tell that, you're not actually kidnappers, but, you've done all these bad things. You were driving recklessly. You endangered some old freaking lady who, had a heart attack and demanded they throw the book at us. So we have to fine you for disorderly conduct, which is essentially the police version of, we didn't have our coffee this morning and we want you to pay for that. So I had to pay $230.17 or some bullshit like that for disorderly conduct for pretending to kidnap a friend of mine from a Laneco. And because I was really a straight and narrow student, I was never in any kind of trouble. This thing gave me fucking nightmares for months. I would wake up in a cold sweat, terrified of my own actions and what trouble I was going to get into for at least 2 months before school ended and I graduated and I got away from it all. So there you go. That is another stupid story involving Doctrzombie and the police. So, how many times have you gotten in trouble with the police? I've gotten in trouble with the police at least once. But yeah, that was not pleasant. I don't recommend that. A lot of kids got in trouble. One of the guys who was with us, who was filming our kidnapping, was a volunteer EMT. He got removed from his volunteer position for I don't know how long. But that's just shitty. Like, the kid had nothing to do with it. It was just, all he did was film. I mean, granted, it was partly his idea, but, I mean, it was ridiculous that they would throw the book at him for something stupid like that. So, alright, well, I think I've rambled on enough about things, stories and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this episode, and, hopefully you've enjoyed my story, and I doubt you've enjoyed me walking around just digging up massive amounts of cobblestone. I have mined out this entire area myself. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, if anything. I know that underground builds are really cool, and I could totally do something fun with it, but I'm not super creative and not the best Minecrafter as far as creative building goes. Nope, lagged out there. But I needed it all for the freaking platform, honestly, and I still need a lot more, so I'm gonna be here a while. Hopefully before the next 2 Minecraft videos go live, I'll have gotten this all done, and I'll have something fun to show you guys. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the show. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys, well, next time.